What's up, everybody? This is the Black Oni, and I was just trying to say thank you guys so much for episode 3. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for this. Hopefully, if you guys like my, episodes that I'm doing of this podcast, please please hit that like button. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to me because it truly does help out. I'm trying to do bigger and better things as I go on. Today's episode will be about just simply me talking about a couple few things, getting a couple few things off my chest. I will truly love to hear your comments. Definitely about, have you ever dealt with drama? This series will be pretty much about, it'll be continuing. And I will be reading off, but I will not be saying names, but I will be reading off comments and everything that people post on here. I'm also going to be changing my podcast pretty soon, and it will be new art and all that stuff coming up because the same art I have is actually my seller art where my Oni character is sleeping on a cloud. So I will be changing that pretty soon as well. Another awesome announcement, I will actually have more nerdcore music on here pretty soon. I've did a huge shout out to get help for that. So it'd be not only a podcast, but it'll be a YouTube radio station as well. I'm not gonna say I'm a DJ because I think I truly believe with music and being a DJ is you mixing. I'm old school, so I believe in mixing and scratching and stuff like that. Because to me, those materials are still well needed as anything today. Besides that, I truly, like I said, once again, I appreciate you guys so much. But let's, carry on and all of that. Haha. But yeah, I want to just say a few things about my lively experience and, me going to work day to day. Like I said, I love my job. My job is simple. It's a sit down job. I work for a company that goes through and actually tests Apple and Apple products, like mostly the laptops, nothing else pretty much. But I sit down every day and I test all the laptops and everything that have to be sent out and taken care of. And like I said, I enjoy the job very well, very, very much. And I am, like I said, I'm grateful to have the job more than anything, because where I was working at before, like I said, it sucked. It was hot. It was always hot in the summertime. Like it was never like, you have to bring your own fan because the company didn't want to, pay for a large fan to blow under you or anything like that. So you have to imagine, being in a warehouse, if it's 102 outside, it's almost, double half of that inside of it. So it's burning up. And then, you would think it would get cooler at night, but the roof was made out of metal and it's just freaking burning up in there. Like I said, I worked this place. I don't mind even saying the name of it because it was straight BS when I was there. It was hot and everything. The place I worked at was New Breed. Also, they formally changed the name to XPO or Logic. However you look at it, but this job was very, very terrible. Like I said, you had to work in conditions in the summertime that would be unacceptable to people. You sweated when you went in there. Like I said, I worked at FedEx, and this job was way harder. And I remember my second time going back to this job was worse. Like I said, my fiance worked there, and she worked there with me, and she ended up almost passing. She ended up passing out twice when we were there. And like I said, it was very, very bad. Like the temp in there, a majority of times on a really bad day was over 120 inside of that place. So if you didn't have a fan or you didn't go to the back and get you some water and keep yourself, replenished, you would pass out. That was going to happen regardless on what you wanted to do. And then, like I said, I when I first started working there, I was working there and I was pretty much just, scanning the phones in, putting them in the boxes, making sure everything was scanned through before we sent it off to the post office or FedEx or, the United States Postal. So like I said, we were doing all of this all the time. And then they were like, hey, do you want to go ahead and, work 12 hours? You work 3 days, 12 hours out the week. And I'm thinking of it. I'm like, okay, 24, then, another. I'm like, okay, so this would be 36 hours. That's what's up. That's $360. At the time I was working there, I was working for $10 an hour. So I'm working there 12 hours a day. You got to think, on the worst day, it's 120 in there. Place is dusty. So if you have sinus problems, that was a wrap for you. That was it. And if you you weren't well hydrated, like I said, you're gonna have more problems. And it just got to the point it was so bad, and you had to deal with drama. People were wanting to fight each other up there. Like, heat makes people do crazy things. I've noticed that. That's a very true fact. When the summertime hits, that's when crime goes up. That's also when children are out of school, so they don't have nothing to do. So, like I said, crime is at its highest. People want to fight, definitely at work. Attitudes are up in the air at this time. And I just remember this one lady asking me a question, and I'm just like, can you repeat it again? Because I didn't understand what you said. She gets mad, saying I shouldn't have to repeat myself. Okay, for one thing, you need to announce yourself if you're going to talk to me. Let me know that you finna talk to me. Don't walk by and say something and then expect me to catch it where it's 100 fans running at the same time and I'm hearing do all day. Like, you can't do that. Then on top of that, I'm not sure. I had a really flamboyant type of supervisor. He's a cool dude through and through. But it's just that he had his episodes too, where, he would become cool to annoyed. And, my thing is, if I don't know something, I'm going to come to you and ask you. And one thing that irritated me about a lot of jobs is when you get that job, they expect you to know it. Like I said, yeah, it was my second time around working there. And it was like my first time ever working that job. Everything was perfect. Like, I didn't have any issues. I didn't have anything, worrying about. Like, when that guy came to me and he told me exactly what I was doing, exactly everything that was going through, everything I needed to take off one pallet and put on another pallet, I knew what I needed to do. The job was, period. It was simple. I didn't have to worry about no machines or anything. The only thing I had to do was go through these boxes, check these phones, make sure they were right, put them in another box, rewrap them up, put them on a pallet. They didn't even go out. They just went straight to stock, where they would sit there and then people would send them over to whatever location they had to go to. And like I said, I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem with, anything when I did it my first year. My first year, I got screwed over by a manager because I was working through a temp service. And like I said, I ended up getting screwed over because I ended up getting a kidney stone. So as soon as I get the kidney stone, I get laid off. Like I tell people, things can happen to you where you get screwed over. Like I said, I've had thousands of things that happened to me where I got screwed over in one way or another. And, the only thing you can do is either go with the punches or, try to make it better. And I've always tried to make it better and go with the punches. So I ended up getting a kidney stone, worst kidney stone in my life. Throwing up every morning, feeling like I got morning sickness and all of that other stuff. And next thing I know, I get a call back and they tell me, oh, you're laid off. And I was, like I said, I was working through Select at the time. Well, recently, past last year, 2016, I decided that I was tired of working the other dead-end job. I was going to work through a Select system and try to get me a better job, something I can build a career on. That didn't fall through basically because a woman that I was working for through Select ended up screwing me over and firing me because I had told her I had a court date where I had to show up because of a misunderstanding with something that was going on in the apartment. And they were like, oh, well, no, it was already taken care of. It was our fault. We didn't mean, your apartment. We meant some other apartment. I didn't even know until the day of the court date. So I ended up going out there. I ended up calling my supervisor at the job I was working in, which was this athletic job. It's called like ACES or something like that. And I'm working there. I'm enjoying myself. This is like, mind you, my second day. So my first day working there, I end up getting, other roommate I had end up telling me, oh, you got a, court notice. Can you, can you go in? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go in because this is important. So I go in, and next thing you know, they tell me everything's good. You don't have to worry about it. Everything's been taken care of. Cool. I get back to the house. I talk to my supervisor, letting her know I'm gonna get ready to come in. I just need to switch clothes and everything. Get ready to do that. She tells me, oh, you've been terminated. And she was the one who legally terminated me. And it's just at this point I had enough. I end up calling the supervisor, and I tell anybody, if you've had enough of something, don't take it. You don't have to take anything. If you're being bullied by, I don't care if it's a temp service system or anything, you can report it. You can go to HR. You can talk to the manager over that place. You can talk to it. As long as you can find the head or higher up at those places, you can report it. Even by law. Like, my thing is, you can't fire a person on their first day if they're going through something that they have proof that they're going through. You can't do that. Like, I don't care if you're sick or whatever, you cannot lay a person off on their first day of starting a new job. Even if it's a temp service, you cannot do that. They have to, roll with you until, things get better. So my thing was, I ended up talking to her head at the location that she was at. And then I ended up calling HR, and then I ended up calling, I think it was, it was like one of the main hotlines for issues and stuff with, Select. And like I said, she ended up trying to deny it and stuff, but I had the proof. I got terminated in like literally my first day. Well, I find out I'm like the 35th person who ends up getting fired because of her having an attitude, or, she just not liking you. She's thinking you're BSing. So she just gets rid of you. So I end up getting, like I said, terminated through the Select staffing and stuff like that. And, she ends up trying to, I guess cover her tracks. But my thing was, as soon as she told me I was terminated, I was like, cool. I'm just letting you know you're going to lose your job too. Made the calls, talked to the people, told them my side of the story. And like I said, I wasn't lying about any of this stuff. I was just being 100% honest what I had to do. I was going into work. Like I said, by this time I only had missed 35 minutes of work. I was 35 minutes late. So I still could have made it to work, but I was already terminated before that day. I had even told the HR at the time that I was going to be coming in late that day because I had to go to court for something I didn't even know I had to go to court for. It was a false alarm. They still gave me a note. I had ended up trying to go back to work, end up getting terminated. And, the end of this story right here, she ended up losing her job because of so many complaints against her. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, this is your job to help people who don't have jobs. And like I said, I don't have a record in, robbery or anything like that. But a lot of people who do end up taking these jobs, and like a job I had was awesome. The benefits to the job were awesome. You could get free merchandise. It was similar to Nike, at the time, but to temp service, like you could get merchandise for a discount. You could work out. They had a personal gym. They had their own shower system. It was just like I said, it was like literally I was working at a factory, but at the same time I had my own workout area that I didn't have to worry about. Like after I think 3 months of you working there, you can hit the gym if you want to. After you get done working, you can use the shower room. They had a lot of things. Like they were dead serious on, you know, you staying healthy, you know, and all that stuff. And like I said, I really enjoyed the job, and I really, you know, are behind their products. Like I really was. I mean, I'm sorry, but I just think it was BS, you know, for me to go through a temp service and get laid off because of, you know, their BS and their downfall. But like I said, I had fun when I was there my first day. It sucked I couldn't go back my second day. And like I said, that's just one of my little side rants for the day. But at the end of this, I really want to know what was one of your most suckiest, you know, moments of, you know, a job? Have you ever been fired from a job, and the reason why? You know, if, you know, those 3 things, you know, what sucky moment happened in your job? That's the first one. The second one, have you ever been fired from a job? It doesn't matter if it was over BS, something BS happened, or, you know, someone didn't like you. Like I said, I'd want to read these in the comments. Another one is, I would say it like this. Another one is, what did you do after you got fired from that job? Did you move on? Did you try to find you another job, or were you pissed off and tried to do something else? Like I said, leave me a comment below. Like I said, I love, you know, you guys, I love looking at the comments. I'm just starting off, so I don't have a huge fan base or anything like that. But you guys, if, you know, like I said, and I say you guys because I believe that my base is going to grow even more. So thank you for your time, and you guys have an awesome day, and take care. All right. Black Oni signing out in 3, 2, 1.
This is a Black Oni. I work for mine. That means I make money for time. I'm getting all day. I slave always in doing what I can. I'm making money, getting stacks so I can get myself out of situations. That means debt. I'm killing these checks. I'm getting everything how I'm doing when I'm getting it. Like break.